Hey, welcome back to Livin MN Outdoors. I'm Daniel, and thanks for tuning in to this week's fishing report. Before we get into this week's report, I just want to give a huge shout out to LH Custom Rods for sponsoring this week's report. If you could, go over, check them out on their website at hoyamoutdoors.com or over on Facebook as well. And with that being said, let's dive into this week's fishing report. All right, this week we're going to start over on Leech Lake out of Acorn Hill Resort on Traders Bay. The perch bite over there is on fire right now. Now, they have 30 plus inches of ice over there. There is not much snow, so bring ice cleats, bring extensions, especially if you're in a wheelhouse, you're going to need them, and even a good idea for outside as well. Now, as far as how to catch these perch out there, they are in that 16 to 22 foot of water on the sand to mud transitions. Just out a little bit beyond Greg's break line, and they are biting primarily on plain red hooks, small red or pink jigs tipped with a fathead, golden shiners, small chubs, but a fathead will do the trick. You just might have to weed through a few more of the small ones. Now, as far as jigging goes, the jigging bite is a little bit tougher because they want that whole minnow. If you're gonna jig, a small tungsten buckshot spoon tipped with a small minnow head is working better, but primarily stick to those dead sticks and those rattle reels. Now, as far as the walleye bite goes, the walleye bite has been a little bit slower. It is picking up with this nicer weather. They're getting the walleyes in the similar areas to the perch. Mainly an overnight bite on a plain red or plain white hook with a golden shiner, small sucker minnow, or a chub. And then over at Ottertail, they're having a little more success with the walleyes, not a ton. And they are getting some perch mixed in over off of Ottertail as well. Now, the eel pout bite is starting to pick up as well, especially if you're getting out in that 18 foot plus range of water, still on that sand to mud transitions. Hang something close to bottom, whether it be a plain hook with a couple of minnows. I prefer a big glow Wonder Bread jig with a couple of minnows, and then pound bottom with a heavy buckshot spoon, especially something that glows. Put a couple minnow heads on there after dark, and you're probably going to catch some eel pout. Now, the tulipy bite, they're still catching tulipies over in Traders Bay. Best ways to catch them, small jigging spoons or a small tungsten jig. Tip that with a waxworm, euro larva, or a small minnow head, and you're going to catch some tulipies out there right now. Now, Acorn Hill Resort, they do have cabins available, sleeper houses, day houses. They do offer guided perch trips. I do believe they're full this weekend, but they do have some availability throughout the rest of the winter. They also offer a full bar and restaurant, the Loaded Loon Bar and Grill. The food is phenomenal. They are running a rib special Friday and Saturday, and then every week on Thursdays they have half price wings as well. They also have an indoor swimming pool and showers for those of you staying out on the lake. Just check in at the bar for pricing on that. So if you guys are looking to get up to Acorn Hill Resort this weekend or in the future, go ahead and call Kyle from Acorn Hill Resort. All right, now moving over to Lake Winnie. The perch bite has started to pick up. They are finding the majority of them out on the main lake on the sand flats in 15 to 18 foot of water, and the gravel bars in that 18 to 23 foot of water. Now, they're finding them over on those sand flats and gravel bars by Mallard and Stony Point. If you're going to fish the gravel bars, the top edge has been working best. And then, like I said before, them sand flats in that 15 to 18 foot of water. Now, the best ways to catch those perch, plain red hook with a fat head is working very well. And then a jigging spoon, or even some guys are getting them on smaller slab wraps as well. But the jigging spoons, tip them with a couple of waxworms or a head of a fat head, and you're gonna catch some nice perch out on Lake Winnie right now. Now, as far as the walleye bite goes, the walleye bite has been a little bit slower. They are finding some of those walleyes mixed in with the perch on those sand flats and the gravel bars. Don't be afraid to try some of that deeper structure as well, those deeper humps out there, as the walleyes are really cruising around and moving from day to day. Now, best ways to catch the walleyes: a plain red hook with a shiner, small sucker, a creek chub. You can get them on rainbows and fatheads as well, but the bigger minnows seem to be working a little bit better. Now, as far as the eel pout bite goes, they are starting to pick up more and more eel pout as the season progresses on. They're going to start schooling up for the spawn here. So on those deeper sand flats, more and more eel pout are starting to show up. Drop something close to bottom, like I've said in the past. Big glow spoons, big glow jigs, pound them in the sand or the mud, and you're more than likely going to catch some nice eel pout. Now, as far as the panfish bite goes, they're still picking up a few of the panfish in that 6 to 9 foot of water. Seems like the water has dirtied up some, and it's making the bite a little bit tougher. But a small tungsten jig tipped with some Euro larva or a waxworm is working best for the bluegills. It doesn't hurt to put a crappie minnow down on a small plain hook as well, and you're probably going to pick off a few of those panfish. Now, if you're looking for a place to stay, the Pines Resort, they do have cabins. They have day houses, full bar and restaurant, live bait, heated fish cleaning shack. Not sure on the availability. It's been tough getting a hold of Chad with him having that accident and being in the hospital. But go ahead, give the resort a call and see what they have available for this weekend and the rest of the season. Now, if you're looking for a sleeper house out on Lake Winnie, Scott from zupsguideservice, he does have some weekday availability for this coming week. If you want to get out there for the last couple of weeks of walleye season, give him a call, get in one of his houses. The bite is starting to pick back up, and I want to remind you guys, open water season is just around the corner, and if you want to get out on Lake Winnie with one of the best walleye guides, definitely give Scott a call and get something on the books before all of his dates are full. So if you're looking to get up to Lake Winnie in a sleeper house or open water, go ahead and call Scott from zupsguideservice. All right, now dropping down to Mille Lacs Lake. The perch bite, the DNR did drop the limit on the perch to 5 now. If you guys could, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that limit change. Be respectful with your comments, please. But I want your honest opinion on what you think of the 5 perch limit. Now, as far as where to catch those perch out there, the north half of the lake is the better half for those jumbo perch. Best areas to find those, still picking some off around the rock piles in 24 to 27 foot of water, or out on the edges of the mud flats. When I say edges, get 50 to 150 yards off of the tops of those mud flats. Drill a bunch of holes. It's going to be nice this weekend. Hop around, find those schools. They are not going to bite a whole minnow. I keep having people ask me, well, why can't I catch them? I say, are you fishing them with minnows? They say yes. I tell them they're not going to bite on a minnow. Small jigging spoons tipped with Euro larva, waxworms, or the head of a crappie minnow. But my favorite is that 5mm Wonder Bread tungsten jig tipped with 2 to 4 red Euro larva. Pound that in the sand or the mud, lift it up a foot, and you're gonna get them perch to bite. Now, as far as the walleye bite goes, walleye bite is extremely tough out there right now. Yes, people are catching those 8 to 12 inchers, but can you really count those? I'm not gonna count them. As far as the nicer walleyes, if you catch 3 to 5 big walleyes, and by big I mean over 14 inches in a day, you are having a really good walleye fishing day out on Mille Lacs Lake. Primary areas to target those rocks in that 12 to 18 foot of water seems to be a little bit better than the rest. Still tough. And then they are getting a few out on the mud flats as well, but they are few and far between. Best ways to catch them, pink and white coffin spoons seem to be working well. Otherwise, a blue race car is working as well. Tip that with a head of a fat head, or put down a shiner or a small sucker on a plain red hook, and you might just tag into one of those nicer walleyes out there. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's fishing report. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you could, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, share it out to all of your friends. If you do get out fishing, take some pictures. You can send them to us to our Gmail or over on Facebook. When you do make it out fishing, remember, be kind to other fishermen. Don't crowd your neighbor. And most importantly, don't forget to get on out there and get living.